Hello and welcome to ZSR2. We have another Z2R Standard Tournament match tonight. We are bringing you crossproduct versus jjschmidt77 in Group D, and we have Mirai and Star on commentary, and you two take it from here.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully going to have a good race tonight. We've been JJ, this is his third match, and actually, did I commentate on all three of his matches so far? I believe I have, and I don't think we've seen crossproduct on a restream yet, and I'm not familiar with him as a runner. I don't think he's like a professional level Z2R player or Z2 player in general, so we'll have to just see how he performs. Maybe he's going to be like the underdog. He's going to come out of left field, and he's going to just, sub 60 this seed. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Crossproduct, looking at his race time history, comes from the Super Metroid community, and has also done some Super Metroid community, and has also done some Super Metroid and Zelda ALTDPR across the combo randomizer. So we'll see how this goes. They should be off shortly. Chat saying that he did some Crystal's random stuff too. All right, I'm just looking at his race time history because that's the quickest way to get an idea, because we have never put him on. So it should be interesting.
Yeah,
only waiting on a couple technical issues to get sorted, I believe. Yeah,
we had a recent update as of yesterday, was it? That we had a new update to the randomizer. Digshake, the author, put out an update in the middle of the tournament, so we're having everyone update. We have a different flag set now, slight adjustment to the flags that get put out. So we're making sure everyone is updated and everyone's got the right flag sets when we're moving forward. We'll see that though on the save selection screen. Of course, you see the hash. There'll be a six alphanumeric label.
6-digit alphanumeric hash. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah. You can see that on JJ's side there. We'll see that shortly on crossproducts. Hopefully that matches.
Yeah. The second of three Z2R tournament races today. We Miss United versus Paratroop wrapped up not too long ago. Won't say the results just yet, but GG's to them both.
Yeah, we've got a
we will also have today. Victor Santa Fe versus... Sorry, what?
No, I say we got a jam-packed day today.
Yeah, so we had Miss and Paratroop just finished up their race. Victor Santa Fe versus Sparkles is starting in just under half an hour. And then we also have the weekly race in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, depending on when this finishes, you might see one or two of us over there as well, depending on resource availability and personnel.
Oh.
I was thinking about making... Okay. I was going to say, I was thinking about making my debut tonight in the weekly race, but I don't know. I might be on the other side of things still tonight. Maybe next week.
We'll see. Depends on who else we find in the next hour and a half.
Yeah, it's just a busy night tonight. Last Monday was busy as well. We had 4 races last Monday. This Tuesday, we got 3 standard races, and then, of course, the weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And the schedule is populated even more the last 2 days, which I'm sure we'll go over at the end of all of this.
Yep. So, in any case, we're finally about to get going. We've got ourselves... I'm not 100% sure what sprite that is from the pause menu file select for cross, but that is the Dragon... I believe that's Dragon Knight / Iron Knuckle crossover, and that is Rudo from Ocarina of Time on the left, now that I can take a better look at it. Ooh, town right next to Star, which is Rauru. CP not bothering to even read this. JJ has found Trophy Cave.
Yeah, not sure cross-product's familiarity with all this, but the town signs will reveal what spell is available in the town itself. I guess it's Rauru. Maybe you just want to jump in and say, let's just get it regardless.
Possible. They did pick a custom flag set today, as we get the spell here. Looks fairly close to what standard flags look like. The main difference is that there are no community rooms, and there does appear to be there's no community rooms, and there are no mixed enemies. Seem to be the two main changes I could find looking at the flags.
Okay, I did forget about that. I saw them talking that over earlier about the special flags that they're running.
That's correct, Irene.
We've been seeing that a little bit, where people are doing the custom flag set, and they're kind of like they're pulling out the community rooms because they're not like really familiar with them. So that's something that people. I don't know if people are going to be able to do that when we move into brackets. I think that's kind of a static flag set, which will have the community rooms enabled.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's to each their own. Community rooms are definitely different. There's actually currently discussion going on in the tournament discussion channel of the Discord about community rooms. It's something that takes time to learn in any case, and I certainly don't fault runners for not wanting to do so in a tournament race.
Yeah, I agree. It's I don't know. I think Nightcrawler and I were talking about this just the other night when we were doing commentary about how when you pull the community rooms out, though, if you have a palace that rolls a little high on the amount of rooms it has, you're going to see a lot of duplicated rooms, because the community rooms really help you navigate through those dungeons that just end up being labyrinths otherwise.
Yeah, this is an enormous swamp here. It looks like we kind of started slightly west of middle, it looks like, on the western continent, which looks to be vanilla-like. There's not really any landmarks. Cross products in the southeast corner. There's an enormous forest next to an enormous swamp. JJ's in the southwest and has found himself P5.
Yeah, we have not found anything special yet. Just the cross in Trophy Cave, and it seems like we're going to come up on another cave here for cross.
Yeah, so not much. It's pretty boring southern half of the continent.
Medicine Cave, but he's going in with 112, or maybe that's going to change in a moment here. He's looking for that next level. I don't know. Depends. I guess if they're not doing mixed enemies, this shouldn't be too punishing. So this shouldn't be too bad. He is down to 1 heart container.
And let's
Birds
do
and bubbles.
Yeah, thank you for the commands. Zero Wing, shoutouts to our 2 runners. Give them a follow, crossproduct, and JJ. Listen to my co-commentator Mira and our truck royale with cheese.
He's got 1 hit left, and that's it.
Yep. I'm sure there's other tweaks to this flags as well, just nothing that will be super noticeable. The main ones are no mixed enemies and the lack of community rooms, so we'll see how this goes. JJ is an old timer of the randomizer, which might be the only reason why he chose to not have community rooms. I know a lot of the old timers are very, very much thrown for a bit of a loop by all the changes that 4.0 made. I'm not sure about CP, as he picks up a child.
That's possible. JJ walking into the same medicine cave now, but he's got 2-1-2, so shouldn't be too bad for him. Although he's taking a bit of damage if he can make it through this room. The birds and bubble combo can be a little tricky in the dark.
All right, so thinking about the map, this is the most This is a vanilla-like map that doesn't have much in the way of features. One of the things you can tell that it's vanilla-like is that it doesn't look like any other biome, to be honest. And it's just a map, and is about all the. It's a map. It is no specific theme. It's just got some of everything. I honestly might just up A here for a CP. He's not that far from start. And he's about to head... hi, Saria.
Yeah,
you
slightly.
You are a sight. That's also a boots block, or a Bagu block. I'm not sure where Bagu is. They haven't seen it yet. But I was just going to say that one of the distinguishing features of a vanilla-like continent, which is basically the default map randomizer you would see in older versions of Rando, before Digshake introduced all sorts of themes, is that vanilla-like biomes usually have a pretty clear-cut split north-south. There's usually like the content's split into half, and there is one path leading connecting the two halves, which is very narrow. And that one path that we've seen so far looks to be Saria, which is a problem. I am unsure if we have we don't have Bagu, we don't have boots, and that's also a lot of water up there. We know that there's more up there because the other half of Saria has to be on the other side of this enormous lake. And that is Shield in Saria, which also wasn't helpful, even if they could get to that.
Yeah,
if that happened the front end of Saria with Fairy in it, that would have made sense, but I'm not actually sure how they're supposed to go north, because I'm pretty sure they've explored the southern half very, very thoroughly.
Well, my guess is going to... Well, here's a cave that I'm not sure we saw a moment ago. This is a pass-through cave. He can... It's either Parappa or Fairy.
Yeah, I do see the other side of that cave up there, so that could be our connector to the rest of the northern half.
Oh no, I think that goes.
I do see a second, maybe, and I do see it. No, wait, that is sorry. Yeah,
one of them. There's the back of Jump and the back of Fairy or Parappa, and one of them. I don't know if they both go up there, or I'm a little confused.
Well, we have. I mean, connector caves still lead in the direction you think they go in, so we have to look for caves up here on the northern half of the south. There's not that many of them, unfortunately, is the issue.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the back of Jump Cave there goes north just beyond that mountain pass block. That's going to lead to two bridges up there. My money's on that or Bagu being tucked away somewhere in all of this forest.
I assume it's got to be Bagu, because I don't think there's any... Because it does not... I'm terrible at tracking caves, to be fair, but I don't believe there's any caves that can get us north at this point. I think they're going to both try this. Yeah, they're both going to try this connector right now.
This is going to be the back of Fairy. So if this does lead somewhere and they're kind of stuck there, this is going to be a one-way trip. I guess Jump Cave is a one-way trip as well when you don't have jump, so...
Yeah, Steep Predicting a Death and Saying to Up A is pretty close to start, so this makes sense. Going to actually go take a slightly different path. But yeah, the southern half. Ooh, that is a connector proper. Nice. Hey, that's a pass-through cave back to the southern half, and there's a pair of bridges. Yeah, the southern half of the continent was boring. It had a couple item caves, it had Rauru and had P5. Now we get to see the northern half, which, speaking of P5, CP is in it. Curious choice to do this when it's out of logic. You've got 112, and you need a way north. I would go looking for a way north because it's not in P5.
Yeah, I'm not really...
You logically need the fairy spell or the any key, and they're not in the southern half of the continent, I'll tell you that much. That is a spectacular north. It looks almost like islands. Yeah, Guma's not viable, really, on 112.
I was going to say that it's unlike if crossproduct is not super familiar with this, then he might not be looking at these connector caves as a way north. I don't know if he puts that together, and that's why he's here playing around in P5, which is one of the worst places to play around at this level.
That is a bright pink P3 or 6, kind of out in the middle of things.
Looks like JJ's in Heart Container Cave. I don't think Cross is going to make it too far in here. I
don't think so either. On such low levels and with basically nothing. Yeah.
That's going to be the magic key for JJ there in Heart Container Cave. So that's going to open up any palace that he wants. And that's if Cross does not step out of here and put the pieces of the puzzle together to move through these connector caves, then this is going to set him back big time.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a couple levels at least up to 213, but oh man, that's not the greatest of solutions to the situation. JJ's in another item cave here.
Yeah, so that one connector gave JJ all access to the north here, it looks like, unless Unless something
It
ends up
appears
being
so.
boots blocked, we're not sure yet. But that's 3 item caves for him so far, or 4 item caves. I'm sorry, and then of course they didn't find the grass tile just yet.
No, they've found so far the Indian key, the candle of cross, and the child. As far as Western continent items go, we're still missing, I think, 1 item cave in the grass tile.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Magic Container Cave, if I'm not mistaken.
We've got a town here in the southwestern corner of the north. And yes, that is I have a truly terrible sense of direction, so I'm writing down my notes as such. Ouch! Fairies in Rudo today. That's going to be a bit of a trip.
And Cross already hitting a dead end here with a glove block on... it's kind of a difficult room to explain. It's actually, I think it's the standard... It's got a hole in the floor. It originally appears in P6, I think, in vanilla, and it's got that glove block at the end there. You normally see it from left to right, but he found it from right to left this time. Randomizer being the randomizer it is.
Yeah. Trophy in the maze and a magic jar in P6 were the 2 hints in Rudo, which is good for JJ.
Yeah, a lot of information good information in Rudo there.
For sure.
Cross is out of
He's going
P5
to try
now.
going north now. Oh, that's a connector cave to a fairly ugly-looking Death Mountain.
Looks like you're going to want boots to navigate this, otherwise it might be a little dirty.
Yeah, just a bit. There's P4 in the north middle, because I believe we're still on the western half of the north. Yeah, there's a bridge going back east.
Yeah, so we have 4, 5, and 3/6, whatever it may be.
Yeah, we're missing 1 palace, and we're missing Meadow, both of which are likely in the northeastern portion of the continent. But I think it's boots blocked by the looks of the map. Usually there are decent-sized lakes in vanilla-like maps, but that one's a bit ridiculously big.
So JJ opting to explore Death Mountain here.
He
hoping
doesn't
for
want
an
to dig
early
the
hammer
palaces yet. P4 and P5 are not the most appealing things in the world to dig, especially without reflecting at low levels. And he doesn't have boots to finish exploring the west, so I guess Death Mountain makes sense. Welcome in, ZeldaSpeedRuns. We're at the party of 117. Welcome into our Link to the Past Randomizer Raiders. We have a very different type of game here for you today. We've got ourselves Zelda 2 Randomizer. Standard tournament match here between crossproduct and jjschmidt77. We're about 13 minutes in. They've been doing a load of, as per the usual, overworld exploration. JJ certainly showing the benefits of experience, having played the game for years, and has got a bit of a lead on crossproduct, who had to grind up some levels before he could go north. This looks a lot like an island Death Mountain while we're at it. Unfortunately, not the nicest of biomes, especially without boots. Yeah, that's definitely islands. At least it looks like this one's got a lot of bridges to help navigation, but this is not the kindest.
Yeah, crossproduct finally making his way through that fairy cave connector. So now he is finally getting the western half of the northern half of the western continent.
Northwest quadrant, let's put it that way.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, welcome to Zelda 2 Rando. We have map random. We don't know where they're going. They don't know where they're going. It's a great time. No one knows where they're going in Z2R. I mean, with time you kind of figure it out, but even still, you never truly 100% know exactly where you're going in Z2R, not until the very end game, when you're just cleaning up the seed, because, the map is different every time.
Looks like Cross is doing a little grinding here on a 200-point Iron Knuckle statue that's coming out of the front of the palaces there. Not too bad, given the fact that it took him a little while to find that fairy cave connector. Maybe not the best choice, but perhaps they have a plan.
Yeah. Ooh, that's lava bath for JJ.
Yeah, tough bouncy cat there. Did not go down in one hit, even at attack 3. And I'm sure JJ was expecting to just cut through that guy at attack 3, but looked like he probably could take at least 2 hits, and that one hit sent him right into the lava.
No worries, Bongo Radio. To you and to everyone else in chat who might not be too familiar with Z2R, feel free to pose questions. Z2 is a very different... Zelda 2, the vanilla game, is quite different from other games in the series, and the randomizer is even more so. You get used to the craziness that is map rando after a bit, but it definitely takes some practice. I have a truly terrible sense of direction, in-game and IRL, but I've gotten used to... But I'm getting used to taking very, very good notes on how not to, and where things are.
Thinking of something in JJ's previous race, he did have a Death Mountain connector that led to the east, if I'm not mistaken. It was required, and maybe that's haunting him. Maybe he's like, there's probably a connector here somewhere. Instead of taking that magic key and jumping in the palaces like the randomizer may want him to do, that the palaces may have the boots waiting for him, but he's here in Death Mountain. I don't know if he's fishing for Hammer Cave or a connector. Again, thinking from his last race, finding that connector in Death Mountain. There it is. There's a Maze Island connector bridge. Is that how he got here? He got here via a cave, didn't he? Or did he get here via the bridge?
Yeah, he got here by a cave. That is a cave that is a bridge to the east in the middle of the south.
Yeah, so that worked out for him if he was again thinking about his previous race, and there's the magic key for cross as well.
And it looks like there was a raft tile right next to that bridge tile. He's in P1 now, right by the bridge.
Not a bad choice to make, smallest palace, and with the magic key, there's nothing that's going to be stopping him. Dig in here, get a free level, maybe 2 levels, depending on the experience that the enemies are giving. And
sorry, right. I do need to answer a couple questions in chat. So how many ZeldaSpeedRun channels are there? I answered that already for you. This is not settings for Drosy. I will answer that in a second. Drosy, this is a custom flag set. There are no mixed enemies, and there are no community rooms, are the 2 main changes. I apparently managed to forget to write down the color of P4 earlier, fixing that now.
I should have put a bit of fine print to what I said earlier about nothing's going to stop him. He may run into a glove block right there. So
like that.
That may be something that does stop him, is a glove block or a fairy block, since blocking rooms, I believe, as per the flag set, can still appear in any room. And I assume that's true because P1 normally doesn't have a glove block to it in the vanilla game.
Yeah, and I'd call this dark, kind of grape colored is what I'd call it for CP. His screen is darker than JJ's, I've noticed, so it is a slightly more magenta color for JJ, I'm pretty sure. We've got a nice, well, the blue color is nice, the brick pattern not so much here in P1 for JJ. That's a good way to start motion sickness. The blue's at least helping with that. Some colors combined with this brick pattern are really bad.
So is this 3/6 that Cross has jumped into, or is this?
No, this is 4.
Okay, so he's in here without reflect.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Not much to be done, unfortunately, Drowsy. JJ has stupidly quiet audio. We could switch to CPs, I suppose, though. JJ trying to think about how to handle the enemies best in this room. So, Ubrambo, the issue with... So why ZSR3 and ZSR4 have underscores in their names is because some jerk decided to take both of those channel names before we could get them, and Twitch did not like Trez submitting a request to boot them off the name. So we got stuck with the underscores. I believe ZSR4, the 5 through 8 have already been reserved to avoid this exact problem.
I have a petition in to move all Z2R races to the 8th channel so that, of course, we can refer to all of this on the Ocho.
Okay, and looks like we have switched to CP's audio. Thanks, VXR. Yeah, so hoping to more use JJ's audio, but I forgot just how quiet it is.
Yeah, audience is in charge of reporting on the audio situation. I'm sitting here with both streams muted, so I can just concentrate on what we're talking about. Looks like JJ was unsuccessful in P1. Regardless
I think
of what I
so.
said
It looks
earlier.
like he might have gotten glove locked out of there. And now it looks like we might be. I'm looking at this east now to see what biome it is, and there looks to be a ginormous river in the middle of it. So that looks like that looks kind of like a canyon biome to me, though it's hard to tell.
Also seeing
yeah, that looks like a canyon biome. Hi, River Devil.
So we see a potential flute block. Otherwise, boots will clearly get us around there. And crossproduct seeing another glove block in P4 as well. So, or is this the same? This is
this
is not the same.
No, this is not P4. This is the P3 or 6. I did
Okay,
not catch any side of windows.
I was concentrating on JJ's side, getting through P1 there. He was in P1 for a long time for not really making it anywhere. I think maybe he was looking for a level, perhaps. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the River Devil might be doing its job for once. We do have the NU key to go dig palaces. CP deciding to get out of this pink palace. I still don't know which one it is.
JJ needs to make his way out of this encounter and find a palace and maybe go back and up an A at that. He's on his last life. He needs to turn around.
P1's right there. He's fine, but it looks like this. It looks like this bridge actually took him to the southeastern part of the continent, and he can't really go anywhere else from it. So at the moment, without flute or boots, so he's out of here. So
Yeah.
at this point, we can't do Spectacle Rock. I don't remember. I don't think JJ found Hammer Cave, so Hammer Cave, P4, and P5 are possibilities for items right now. Because it seems like we are item blocked out of the seed right now as far as overworld exploration goes. Now where I think there is a bridge, there are two bridges kind of in the middle of the ginormous lake in the west, and I think the second one might get them to the northeastern quadrant. It's a little hard to tell. It's that, dig P4, P5, or Hammer Cave, I think. Because east is, yeah, you can't get across that canyon. There's only one bridge, and the River Devil is sitting on it.
Yeah, I didn't see if Cross exhausted all the available options in P4. Just saw that one glove block just to the left of start. But if, there can be times where once you have the magic key or fairy, what the randomizer wants before you walk into a palace, you may have to go into the palace that you can't defeat. So right now, not having reflect, they may actually need to go into P4, get the item out of there to continue to be able to progress. So even though they can't kill the boss, if the item is obviously able to be found before the boss and not behind any other blocks, then that may be what the randomizer wants. But we still don't know what's in P5 and not even sure what's in P3/6 yet.
Yeah, Raft is in P2. Problem is we don't have P2, so that's a pretty useless hint for now.
JJ doing a few stabs on that statue to make sure, verifying he's like, is this P2? Is this really P5? He's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is in fact P5. So, we'll see how JJ fares in here as cross-product is having a fun time in this island's Death Mountain. Islands, canyons, and a really giant lake, all without boots.
Yeah, just to point out to everyone in chat again that we're not running with mixed enemies, so we're not expected to have these rooms filled too much with too much crap at the same time, although that doesn't mean you're not going to get several of the same enemies, but we're not going to get small and large enemies together. So you maybe see a few less enemies than usual in some of these rooms and encounters.
So at this point, yeah, both the runners are kind of in. Well, CP is still in exploration mode since he hasn't quite found the east yet, as he gets dead-ended. And JJ is digging P5 because he is in where is that progression item mode.
Yeah, I can't imagine all of these palaces are going to be I mean, there has to be something available to them, and if all the palaces are glove locked, then I guess Hammer Cave is the play. And then otherwise, maybe there's another connector hidden in Death Mountain somewhere. I didn't see all of the paths that JJ took. I didn't get to see the lay of the land entirely. Plus, it's a little difficult on an island's biome. Sometimes you get thrown from island to island. You don't really get a chance to see where all the caves connect properly.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, there is at least one boot block Death Mountain cave. There's probably at least one boot blocked island in Death Mountain, period, because there always seems to be. That's just the general rule of islands, is there's almost always at least one island that is hard boots blocked. So we'll have to see, because without boots, island biomes really suck. This one's been generous with bridges, but that... it's funny that the islands biome is the one with a load of bridges, and the canyon biome is the one with one bridge. Usually it's the other way around. But nope.
JJ hitting a dead end here in P5, turning back around, and I think he's got another option to choose at the top of the freeway elevator.
It wasn't a dead end, it was a glove blocked, but yes.
It is a glove block, but at the end of it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah.
Is it? Okay,
it's a trick,
I can't remember sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, we have interesting definitions of fun here in the Z2R community. Admittedly, we're also chat. In this case, voice chat, but chat all the same. We love the trolls.
Yeah.
The runner is not necessarily.
Cross-product, I mean,
that's a glove block and a half for a JJ. I think he's at a P5 with that. That looks to be a glove block P5, alright, if I've ever seen one. Time for P4, I guess. Which means he needs to go back north.
We saw something similar to this the other day when it was a level engine versus Sparkles. What's happening right now is, like, JJ having the veteran expertise here, having played a bunch of Z2R in the past, he obviously found the north of this side of this continent first, and he found his way through Death Mountain to kind of a dead-ended east. He's got a little bit more information, but he's not really able to like take off, and he's kind of stuck. And cross-product is, while he has a little less information, he's also not that far behind, just based on the fact that JJ has found several roadblocks along the way as well. We saw this in the Level Engine Sparkles matchup a few days ago, where Level Engine is a powerhouse player, but it was such a crazy seed that the way that it played out in routing, probably worth a watch, at least for the first hour or so. They didn't find the East for almost 50 minutes into the seed. So both of them, while Level Engine again having such an advantage over Sparkles, they were pretty neck and neck because Level Engine really couldn't just take off. So maybe we'll see cross-product hang in there on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, each rando is different, and what makes Z2R unique? It is a fairly simple game at its core. There's only 6 palaces, there's only a handful of spells. It's not the most complicated game in the world. But that's where the map rando comes in, because just a straight item rando would get very boring very quickly. It's a very linear vanilla overworld. Vanilla maps are some of the most hated in Max Rando.
I will grant you that for sure. I'm not a fan of the vanilla stuff even when it's randomized, when it's shuffled vanilla, it's still like
Vanilla shuffled is its own special brand of fun, shall we say?
Yeah, luckily in the flag sets that are being used standard here in this standard tournament, none of these have any vanilla options available, unless of course the racers want to do that here in the round robin preliminary placement phase.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone actually wants vanilla volumes. It's just the vanilla overworld is too restricted. It's definitely different, but it also just doesn't work well with rando. And that is why we have map rando, to spice things up. It makes for an actually interesting randomizer that, has variety, because the just item shuffle would not do it. And it gets interesting, too. Big challenge for people like me with a non-existent sense of direction. But it's fun.
Yeah, as you were saying, there's not a lot to it, but there's obviously enough tricks and understanding where veteran players do have a clear advantage over people who aren't nearly as well-versed in all of this, but still not so much to where it's just a total blowout every single time. So anyone looking to jump into Z2R, it's not too bad, really. The matches tend to not last very long at all, and neither do practice seeds once you kind of get the hang of things.
Yeah, top runners can sub 115 most seeds, sub 130 tops, usually. even newer runners can get sub 2s usually fairly quickly after starting the randomizer. It depends on things in the flags, but it's not the worst to pick up.
Yeah, so JJ's in now 3/6. He's in a dead end room. I don't know if he knows that, but I don't know. This seems to be the last option we have. We know that there's a glove block in 4. I don't think JJ's jumped into 4. It was just cross we saw in 4. And again, I don't know if he exhausted all of his options. We've seen, I think, all of the options in 5. We've seen there's cross just exited out of 1. We know we can't do anything in 1. And here we are in 3/6. Once again, we're still not entirely familiar with where we're at here until we see either the boss or some windows. But again, this is a dead end. So JJ's going to have to go a different way if he wants to discover something in here.
Yeah, or discover he's locked out. One or the other.
Yeah, and at that point, I mean, where it's going to have to be Hammer Cave, but I don't know. I don't know if Hammer Cave is accessible. This is kind of interesting.
I mean, I don't blame either of them for not like to really seriously dig out an Island's Death Mountain without boots, because island biomes really suck without boots.
Yeah, it's not exciting. As I was saying before, you kind of can't see where all the caves lead. You hit one cave, you connect to another little small island, and you just can't see enough.
That's a glove block. That's a glove block. Whatever palace this is, JJ is really mad at it.
Wow.
He is glove blocked out of that.
I hope the seed doesn't have any actual problems to it. I mean, they got the magic key early on, so the randomizer, expects them to be in palaces, but we can't seem to make any progress. Now, I guess we're going to see 4 here. JJ's going to jump into 4 like we saw Cross. For the 3rd time, I'm not sure if Cross exhausted all options available. We'll see if JJ has any luck here. There's a left here that he can make. The right is a dead end. And at the bottom here, we'll see where he goes.
Yeah, I don't think either runner have found Bagu. I don't believe he's in the southern half of the continent. I don't think he's in the northwestern quadrant either.
That's a phenomenal observation. I just totally left that behind, because obviously we haven't seen where Saria we haven't seen the other side of Saria, so it's entirely possible that Bagu.
Yeah, we know Saria leads northward, but the enormous lake in the middle of the northern half of the west. Yes, that is supposed to make coherent sense as a sentence. But the enormous lake in the middle of the northern half makes it hard to tell where anything is. It's the same thing with island biomes as cross product gets dead-ended, heading west of the bridge tile in Death Mountain. As with island biomes, when there's so much, and with the canyon biome we have in the east, when there's so much water, it's hard to tell where anything is in relation to anything else, because you can't see the other side of that water a good chunk of the time. Yeah,
Devious saying in chat there that they've had a bunch of forced Bagu seeds in 4.0. I made a mistake a few months ago. I was like, I don't think this seed is beatable, and I brought it to the players in Z2R Discord, and then Lost, who is part of the ZSR staff and everything, plays as well. Oh, there's a fairy block. She's like, "Where's Bagu?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Bagu," and she was right. It was a Bagu block in that seed. Just had totally forgotten about him, which could be what's happening to both of these racers here now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. There has been a lot of forest in this west, but we basically just have to walk over all of the forest houses to see if Bagu's in it. There's not really a great way to tell, and we have no idea if Bagu is even available on the southern half or the northwestern quadrant, because the northeastern quadrant is completely inaccessible right now, as far as I can figure. We have seen 2 bridges kind of out in the middle of the lake, but one I know to go. But one I know, there's a couple bridges, but some of them only go west, and I think the 3rd one might be a dead end. It's a little hard to tell. Because again, with so much water, you don't know where anything is on the other side of that water if it's too big a body of water. So the enormous, I think it's a lake, as, that's a glitchy mini-boss.
Yeah, it's Rebo Shark. That's what happens when you get Rebanak in P4.
Correct.
When you get Rebanak in P4, because he takes on part of Karok's sprite, which is like the rogue wizard guy. But I was going to say, this is the item room, so this is going to give us something.
Yep. Cross products fighting drippers for experience, almost at another level, which... Oh, nice XP bag. That's life 6. Yeah,
I'm not sure how excited JJ is for a downstabbless Rebanak here. I'm not sure how familiar he is with the. I mean, he seems to be able to do some damage here, so he's a little bit familiar. Doesn't take too many hits to get him off the horse or the shark.
But he's already down to just 1 heart. Because they haven't found any heart containers or any magic jars either.
Yeah, and you don't get a lot of. There's not a lot of real estate here. This is the way that this room is shaped really changes the way that this fight can be tackled, especially if you have downstab and you rely on that downstab corner strat. It can't be done here with this room layout, which is again this is a community room, but only those can be used in the item rooms here. So this is not a standard vanilla room.
No, and there we go. Nicely done for JJ. Now, what is the item in here?
Let's hope it's not another pea bag.
Oh, a pea bag would be a whammy and a half.
That would be so funny.
Medicine would be a whammy too.
It's gotta be the boots. Oh, the flute!
Flute!
River Devil.
That's an interesting find. That's a River Devil for you. Fun!
That is really interesting. It's like flute here, gotta take the linear path back through Death Mountain. He's gonna, I don't even remember how he got there. Hopefully he does. And then he's gotta make it to a very segregated portion of the east, move through that River Devil bridge, and then I don't know how much that opens things up. We haven't seen beyond there.
Yeah, we've only seen a smaller portion of the east because I think we saw a grand sum of 2 landmarks in that portion of the east. We saw P1 and we saw the 2 connectors, the raft tile and the bridge. So there's a lot of the east we're missing right now. Canyons do tend to be very, very tall north-south, or if it's an east-west canyon, they tend to be very tall east-west. Canyons are usually north-south. There's a couple east. Sometimes you get an east-to-west canyon. In either case, canyons tend to be very long in the direction of the river. So there's probably more of the western half. JJ got lost. That is not the connector cave because he just ended up in the absolute middle of nowhere there. That ain't it, JJ.
I don't remember if Cross had the magic key when he walked into P4. He may have, but I'm not sure. There were a bunch of key blocks along the way, so if he didn't, he would have been turned off jumping in there immediately. So hopefully at some point he does jump back in there, or maybe there is just an alternate option for Bagoo. I'm still very interested to know if Bagoo is out there.
I am as well. I'm kind of curious to count how many connector caves it takes JJ to get to the connector caves and bridges it takes JJ to get to the east here in Death Mountain, because it seems like a bit of a maze of connections to get there.
Yeah, this
Speaking
is not
of
exciting.
Connections and mazes, our connection to Maze Island has to be a connector cave. Where is that connector cave? Probably somewhere else in the east. Okay, that's cave number 1 to get over to this island. You really wish you had booze, is about what I can say about this.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for forgetting. I mean, he found it's easy to just start digging through caves and then, voila, your exit spits you out somewhere and you're thinking, well, how many caves did I take to get here? Where exactly did I go? And it's been several minutes. He's dug 2 palaces at this point, looking for some sort of answer, and I'm sure he's forgotten a good portion of this dig again.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It took 2 caves and this bridge to get to the bridge tile, which isn't the worst. But yeah, River Devil actually having a job for once, which seems to be fairly rare in 4.0, because River Devil's almost never useful nowadays.
Yeah, the flute. I do wish the flute was a little bit more useful. You see the 3-eyed rock every once in a while, but that's still hit or miss.
Yeah, CP seems to have gotten a little lost as to how to get back north. Challenges of map rando, and to the left of the River Devil is Darunia. As we see up north, boots blocked is the Valley of Death here. Again, like once JJ leaves. And that jump is kinda meh.
I mean, if he wants to go back for downstab, he can go back and get down. Oh no, we haven't even seen Mito, so never mind.
That's in the northeastern quadrant, I think I don't have access to.
Wow, these guys are really getting a lot of stuff they don't need right away. Item
Hey,
cave.
cave. Yeah, you can see the edge of the Valley of Death just north of this, but that's boots locked because they're gonna have to find boots to go up the canyon for whatever's up north. Besides the Valley of Death, there's also some other things up there. I'm pretty sure because there was so little in that first section they could access. They could access the raft hall, and they could access P1. I don't even think the desert isle was there, as we find a heart container, which is not all that helpful, unfortunately.
No, he really wanted to see something a whole lot better there.
Yeah.
Either trophy or boots.
Yeah, we're actually missing 2 continental connectors. I can't take notes. We don't know where the raft tile goes because we haven't found P2, which has the raft, and we don't know where the second connector cave goes yet.
All eyes on JJ as he opens up a little bit more of the east. Hopefully this does go somewhere. I saw a town over there, I thought. Some other sort of
No, that
landmark.
he just walked past Old Kasudo again. That's where he was earlier for jump.
No, slightly west. I just thought of the corner of my eye. We could have been... is that Three-Eyed Rock? Maybe that was what I saw.
I think you were looking at Red Rock, yeah. Yeah, we saw the raft tile. It's right by the bridge tile in the east. We just don't know where it goes. Alright, Three-Eyed Rock. This is a pretty big western shore, actually. And helpful game. Helpful.
Yeah, they're getting everything they need right off. This is... there's a lot of sarcasm right there, actually. It's funny. I was just telling everyone ahead of time in before we started the stream that I was watching a cross keys for Link to the Past last night, and it was such a terrible seed that it was like they last locationed almost everything, and it's going to be funny if this seed ends up that way too.
Yeah. Alright, okay, so let's see the southwestern corner of the east. This is an impressively large western shore, because usually the 2 shores are pretty similar in size, but this one's pretty big. There's a water tile on the southwest-ish. Or at least it looked like a canyon biome, I could be wrong.
There's a lot of land here and not a lot of landmarks. He's really hoping for something, another cave, the desert tile, maybe even New Kasudo. There's a palace, perhaps that he can dig into without any real issues that are going to be blocking him.
Yeah, this might be a vanilla-like biome, actually. I thought it was canyon because of the way the starting area looked. I think it might be more vanilla-like, actually. Just a really trippy one. Again, there's a lot of water today.
Yeah,
as we
big lakes.
see P2. Very bright pink. Kind of in the middle of the west coast.
So assuming the raft may be accessible in here, if it's not behind a glove or ferry block.
Yeah, not a single gem placed at 42 minutes because they can't. And okay, cross-product verifying the situation of the bridges. Still can't see anything of the northeastern quadrant, unfortunately, because this map's being rude. There's way too much water. Where the hell are the boots? I don't know if they're necessary, because at this point the boots are are most likely hard required to get to the other portion of the west. Unless one connector cave connects with Maze Island and the other... We have 2 continental connectors left. One of them could connect to that segment of the west. Just don't know how, we just don't know for sure. But
here we have a helmet head.
Probably that. Helmet head is really sick. Jeez.
It could also be trophy ferry to Saria.
Possible.
And that would be funny if the boots are behind there.
Well, the trophy's in Maze Island. We still need a way there.
This is true. Could be raft, Maze Island, trophy, ferry, other side of Saria, GG. That's my prediction.
Yeah, we don't know yet how we're supposed to get to that part of the west because there's a high likelihood boots are required with how the maps have been going. Alright, helmet heads down. Now the question is the raft available here? Because I did get a hint for the raft being in here a while ago.
Unfortunately, P2 can be kind of a maze, so... Oh, there's a ferry block.
That's a ferry block. Yeah, I don't think JJ's going anywhere in it. Lovely.
Yeah, so depending on how friendly the rest of this palace ends up being, is anyone's guess, based on everything we've seen up to this point.
Yeah.
It seems,
Okay, JJ's gonna
like,
try. I wasn't even sure there was another path. There does seem to be at least one path available for JJ to try and find where his raft is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this randomizer seemed, or at least if it did this particular seed, really seems to want to put blocks in palaces. So the glove, you know, sometimes you get the glove for free right in the beginning, and you don't even use the glove really until, you know, Great Palace. But this one got a few glove blocks and a few fairy blocks.
Yep.
And Cross, now going back into P4, has the magic key this time. Again, I wasn't sure if he had the magic key last time. He does need to head left here, and he does need to make his way through this area and find the item. Hopefully he can, well, with his, again, without knowing his expertise here, I don't know how comfortable he is with a, that's a dead end.
That is a dead end in P2 for JJ. Good.
And I would say that I'm not sure how comfortable Cross is with a down-stabless Rebanak.
We're going to find out, because unfortunately it's required.
I mean, he's got attack 5 and life 6 at this point, although still just 4 heart containers without having access to that portion of the east that we've seen already. Attack 5 should be good, as long as he can get some good hits in. Other than that, we'll see.
Yeah, okay, JJ is heading up. There's quite a bit of this P2 available. We'll see if the item's around someplace.
Yeah, and again, without community rooms, this is going to create some confusion, likely, with a lot of duplicate rooms. This is a dead end. Cross does seem to be headed the right way through this block room. Oh, don't get stuck in here, dude. Get out, get out.
Yeah, no, you need to reset that room. That's not happening. Maybe he was thinking about the pee bag, but yeah, you're not. You know, just keep going. There we go.
All right, JJ, it's on you to find us an item room, get us the raft, and show us more of this game. 47 minutes into it all.
Yeah, raft, or we're gonna have to start digging. I mean, we haven't seen all of the western half of the east yet, so he could keep exploring.
Yeah, he's probably got access to a little bit more over here, or at least hopefully.
Yeah, it is vanilla-like and not a canyon, so there's going to be quite a bit of stuff over here in the western portion. That big of, I don't know if it's a lake or a river or what's it, but that was blocked, that the river level was on, but that made it very hard to tell where anything is in relation to anything else, which is why I thought it might have been a canyon, but I don't know. C2R map rando gets very trippy sometimes.
So JJ found a little bit of a loop there going left at the top of the elevator he just passed by again. This is another dead-end room for him. I was going to say he had 2 rights left, this being one of them. But again, this is a dead end, so he's going to have to hit that elevator, come back to the elevator in the room to the left of here, go down 1 level, and go right from there. And I think that's perhaps his final option. And Cross looks like
it is.
Yeah, Cross looks like he's able to land a few blows here on Rebanak. As long as you can get him off the horse, then it should be fairly simple, but he did take a game over there.
That's natch. And JJ considered going right at the elevator like he said, but is instead heading back left. Okay.
Perhaps I was mistaken. No, not that elevator. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a loop. He needs to go back to that. Well, I guess we'll find out. There's one direction I'm pretty sure he didn't change. He didn't see. It was a 3-way direction where the elevator shaft went straight up and down. It was just off to the right in the middle. It's a unique room. Nothing else looks like it. But he passed by one of those on his way to the top of an elevator shaft, and I guess I'm not exactly sure where that is, although I thought it was 2 rooms back at this point.
Keys loop check confirms, thanks you. Unfortunately, my sense of direction's utterly non-existent, so I kind of don't do very well in palaces. I just end up wandering around rather horrendously lost for ages because I can't remember where anything is.
Yeah, what can happen, and maybe I'm just projecting here, but what can happen is that you didn't remember. You're like, I saw an elevator shaft. Did it actually have a direction that I didn't go? Like sometimes it's difficult. Oh, don't leave.
I think he's very blocked out. I think he's looped out. I think he's gotten stuck in too many loops. Alright, JJ heading up to the northwestern corner of the continent now, looks like. I think he's very blocked out, Mirai. I think he just got thoroughly looped in that section of the palace.
I wish I could multitask very well. I'd go dissect it. I think he's leaving something behind, and especially because we know the raft is in there. This is like, I don't know. Into the water.
We'll have to see. Ouch. He just drowned, I suppose, in this case, since it's water. CP's not having the nicest of times in 4. For a newer runner, even on 556, having only 4 hearts, 4 magic jars, and basically no spells. The spell isn't the most useful thing in the world, unfortunately. Can be a bit rough, as we see, oh, ouch, Reflect and Daronia. They're gonna need it. They're going to need a child today, wherever that is.
And Thunder, we're not even sure where Thunder is. Thunder may be behind the medicine. So we may have all of the important spells behind all of the spell items.
We'll have to see, because we do know that, because Mito we know to be in the part of the West we can't get to. JJ trying the faster strat to get up on the rooftop and failing and decides I'm just going to go the long way.
Unfortunately, when you can't execute the faster strat all that quickly, you're just like, damn it, I should have just gone to the lower roof and jumped on there. Wasted all this time.
Yep, cross-product did just find Karok for later if he remembers where to how to get back at a later point in time. That's not helpful for them right now. Explosive spell does 2 things. It turns enemies into a random enemy. And it opens up a tower with an item in Nukasudo. As JJ picks up Upstab, I think that was just cross-product refilling his magic there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if we see Nukasudo soon, because that would obviously give them access to another item.
We do know there is a town right next to Darunia, well, slightly to the east of Darunia. I can see the Nukasudo or Naburu, we'll see which. And, oh, right, we have the child already, which is something I forgot. Oops.
Oh, did we? Okay, yeah, it does on the tracker.
That was in the
Thank
last
you, trackers.
I kind of forgot about that ages ago, to be honest, because we were so busy discussing the map, I forgot we had a child. Convenient. And that's me having a brain fart. We have not been able to see the other side of Saria. We don't have Fairy, we don't have Dash, we don't have, Magu. Okay, yeah, confirming we are in the northwestern portion of the continent here for JJ, and that is Nukasudo with the Dash spell. Lovely. I guess we can get across Saria now, at least.
Just 5 magic containers to get into that woman's house.
Unfortunately, it's 5. It's 1 more than they have.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks!
Sometimes
Who wants to find the candle?
Sometimes you're hoping that the spell tower actually has that magic container you need to get into the house.
Yeah, great hint. Yes, Candle was in the west. They found that about 40 minutes ago or something along those lines.
Cross-product is a kill.
Nicely done.
I was just watching. I thought he had 1 hit left, and Rebanek had 1 hit left, and I thought Cross had 1 hit left. He had 2 hits left because he bodied him. If you body Rebanek, if you hit him in the body, it takes less damage off of you than if you get hit by a sword beam. So
yeah,
CP probably why he's
obeying. Yeah, CP not obeying. I think he's going to try for the last. Well, that's 466 experience. I would just obey. That's a lot to get. And I don't think the seed's been that generous with it. As you see, a magic jar in Nukasudo is actually perfect because JJ can go get that item out of the tower, from the old woman right now.
We're just waiting on JJ to show us what's going on here. Come on, JJ, yeah. You need the boots. You're hoping for the boots, buddy, or the trophy, or another magic.
Nope. Another magic jar. Thanks, game.
All right.
CP, just obey, please. It's not worth the time for 466 experience is a lot. And our boots blocked. That's it for the Eaters for now.
My money is still on P2. I think there was 1 spot he didn't check. I'm putting big money on it. I'm putting big money on it, chat. It's me versus chat.
I unfortunately have lost my sense of direction too badly to have any idea, I'll be honest.
I think I'm gonna have to look this up.
Also, thanks VXR for this seed, because VXR is
No kidding.
This has been something special. JJ's a seasoned veteran who's quite capable of sub 130ing most things, and we're almost an hour in and we've got one gem placed and we are still figuring out the map. Oh, there's a Valley of Death actually that is accessible here. I didn't quite catch that earlier, with how this map has been. So that's an area we can explore, is this palace, which is a toss-up between the other of 3 or 6, because I don't think we ever figured out if that was P3 or P6 on the west.
Yeah, I don't think we saw a single window.
Nope. I mean, we can get past Karok, yeah, in P4, but we know it's the... I mean, we can beat Karok, but we've already gotten the raft from it, so that doesn't help us as far as, figuring out the map, at least. Because at this point, we need the boots. Right now the question is this P6, P3 or 6, or is this GP in the Valley of Death? 50-50 between GP and, not GP, basically. Also, no fairy. Have fun.
This is not exciting for sure. I don't know, I don't know if it's worth trying to get through these encounters themselves versus the actual enemy encounters. I don't know. That's up to the runner themselves. I think I'd rather try to suffer through the enemy encounters versus this. But I mean, I don't know. It's a coin flip, I guess.
I don't know why JJ's not encounter skipping either. He knows how to do it. That's not the issue. And CP is getting lost, getting back to the east, same way that JJ did. As mentioned, it's really rather hard to know where you're going, especially on an islands biome. Oh my god, they would love boots, but I don't think they're getting boots sub-hour.
That is
I think they
interesting.
need boots too at the rate we're going, too. Oh, and that's a death for JJ. He is down to his last life. And he is still continuing to not encounter skip. Okay. I don't know why he didn't use the spell either. He's just playing a waiting game, which is not the game you want to play on these encounters often, but there we go. He is on 466, and there isn't lava in here, so he should be able to get to the palace, hopefully.
So I'm slightly distracted. How many lives does he have? Does he have any other encounters?
He's on his last.
Right here?
This is his last life. So he should be okay to get through this cave without taking a death, because if he does, that's a game over, and he has to hike all the way back here.
Yeah. Okay, so there's none even on the way out. Okay.
And this is not GP. Good news. GP is in Maze Island today. And unfortunately, that means we need to double dip Maze Island. Most likely. Oh, depends. Depends on whether or not we need to have fairy for anything, because we've only seen one fairy block, and that was in P2 after Helmet Head. And that blocks a raft, but the raft might be our way into Maze Island, so... But the raft can't... well, it's complicated at this rate. Maze Island, completely missing at the moment. And we're missing a connector cave too, impressively. I'm thinking the connector cave's in Maze Island. Not sure where the connector cave goes to, but it's probably in Maze Island at the rate we're going. Or it might be boot blocked in the west or east, or just somewhere dumb in Death Valley, because we don't have boots and it's really hurting their overworld exploration today.
Oh,
hey, here's Barba, at least.
Shouldn't be too hard of a fight, especially with Barba wounded already. I'm sure both runners at this point feel that they're behind, seeing as they're definitely locked out of a good portion of these continents.
Very much so. Yeah, this is P6. So the bubblegum pink palace we saw earlier in the west is in fact Palace 3. More nice to know than anything else, but yeah. Alright, and that's enough A. JJ choosing to not dig P6 for the item. He is going to go see where Saria goes, I think, because he can get across with jump and dash now.
Very true, very true.
So I do get that over trying to dig P6 with no glove, no fairy. Not the most appealing play in the world, shall we say. You can get Shield Spell from Saria. Time Warp, and he's back. Alright, so where is the other side of Saria becomes the question. No, both halves of Saria have to be in the west. We just aren't quite sure how we don't know where the northern half of Saria is exactly in relation to the west of the northeastern quadrant.
Okay, so looking at P2, it seems that I may have been wrong. I'll just leave it at that. It's quite a palace to decipher, though.
Yeah.
So we're finally going to see what's on the other side of Saria. This is exciting. I think you just said it. Grass tile and one other item cave at this point, correct?
Yeah. Up and hey,
it's
we're in the northeast.
I guess we finally get downstab as well. I'm feeling a little bad for crossproduct, seeing as again not being super well versed Z2 runner. This is not a fun seed to get thrown into for sure.
Yep. Mito, I missed what spell that was.
So did I.
His personal tracker is also super blurry on stream that we can see on the.
I can't make anything out from there.
So I can't. It doesn't look like it's thunder at least, but it's also just illegible. Chat, did any of you read the sign? Because apparently we failed at it.
Whatever it is, he's not interested in the hint.
So, probably not thunder. Lifetown, thanks, chat. Alright, and we are missing... Okay, so that's... that located... Okay, so we have...
item cave.
Yeah, our last item cave, and I think Stonehenge... Speaking of the medicine.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that is about it. It wasn't even northwestern. It wasn't quite a quadrant. More like the northeastern section, I suppose, technically. Should have Stonehenge up here somewhere as well, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Really weird.
There it is.
There's Boots. That is an impressively terrible spot.
Well, that's going to open everything up for the most part here. Still don't know where Glove is at, so it could be in a palace somewhere, could be in the Hammer Cave, which seems like it may have been sort of boots locked.
Yeah, speaking of, so there is no connector cave up here in the northeastern section of the continent, so also that is you had to go through Saria to get there. That's kind of terrible.
Yeah, it could also be water tile that they saw on the east.
Yeah, it is and okay, Jade is gonna beat Carrick while he's here, might as well, no reason not to. But it is kind of impressive that you were required to use jump and dash to get through Saria. Because I don't think we ever did find Bagu.
No, I should probably check that out to see if he's actually available.
I don't know where Bagu is, because I think they both tried looking for him.
He should be available. The flag set has his woods being generated, but that doesn't mean they're in a useful place.
No, I wonder where they are. I'm terrible at finding him in Z2 Edit, unfortunately.
Yeah, he is available in the forest. This could have been opened up a little bit sooner.
Not surprised. I just didn't quite find that one forest tile.
Yeah, the trick is when you know that Bagu's woods are going to be generated and you're looking through the forest, what you're going to find, what's considered to be Bagu's woods, is if you've ever played vanilla before, there's a bunch of they're called Lost Woods, overworld tiles that are also right in the vicinity of Bagu, and it's going to generate the same way in the randomizer. Bagu is going to be surrounded by those Lost Wood tiles. So if you find them, they're just like the tile. They're the overworld encounters that are, you walk into a forest tile and this overworld encounter. It's got some wooden logs that are vertical, and there's usually Dairas, or maybe, I guess anything could be in there really from the west. But when you find those in the same vicinity, you'll find Bagu. So if you're looking for Bagu, that's a hint on how to find Bagu. And I don't know if they actually found those Lost Wood tiles. They didn't spend too much time in the forest section where he's at. But that's interesting. We'll get a chance to talk to them at the end. It's something we'll have to remember to ask them, did you even consider Bagu? Because guess what, guys? He was available.
Gotcha. Alright. So, boots are going to make getting back to the east a whole lot easier for JJ. You already saw that cave, I'm pretty sure, because he got a pass-through over there a while ago.
I'll bet he's looking for.
But this pair of caves is new. Here on the here kind of isolated. Because they did not find a pass-through to these two caves. Oh, there's Maze Island Cave. It's boots blocked.
and there's your reptile. Yeah. All right, well, it's just up to JJ to swiftly finish this seed at this point. He's got to find the two items. I forget. They're what's in here? Trophies in here, isn't it?
Trophies in here, so that unlocks Fairy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we realized though at some point the only fire block we've seen in P2 was the only fire block we've seen was in P2, which locks the raft. So I think we knew it by then that raft could lock the access to Maze Island. But I also got a little scatterbrained at that point because you're really getting bamboozled by this map as you see a P bag at the other end of a Maze Island. Thanks, game. JJ wants the trophy. He does not care for a P bag.
Yeah, especially not at this point in time. He's 666 for levels. They've been leveling like crazy because they haven't been able to do anything else.
Yeah, they've been getting lost on the map. It's really sucked. CP is still doing Western Continent exploration. Considers P2 and decides, yeah, I want to go in here. I think he does want to come in here. Or maybe not yet. Gonna finish exploring this portion of the east. We are missing Naburu, and I think it might be in the northeastern part of the east, because you know that river double? Like the river went up further north?
Yeah.
I think the Naburu might be up north and west of that, if I'm looking at the map correctly. There's the trophy for JJ, because I think that's what's up with that. Because I believe we've seen the rest of the east other than that section up north of the river. Because JJ hasn't been back there with boots yet, so he hasn't seen that part by the river.
Yeah, did he check the palace, or was it just that's
he hasn't. We know this is GP.
Okay.
Alright. What is this other isolated cave? A connector.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he's still looking for Hammer Cave at this point. He's got...
I think he is, but he wants to... the other problem is, we don't have the glove.
Yeah,
I don't think we even have a hint for it.
Yeah, maybe it's just worth digging Hammer Cave right at this very point in time. I'm not sure. At this point, I don't know what would be going through my head.
I guess he's here. He's dug most of them. He's seen glow flocks in 3 different palaces, and he's fairy blocked from the raft in the 4th. And what else is he going to do with his time? And he knows the flutes in the 5th. And he knows it's not in a palace. He's glove blocked out of 3 of them, and he knows he either has or knows of the items from the other 2. He's got. I mean, he can hike back to Water Tile. He can do this.
Yeah, if he could just find it soon enough, it's not that big of a dig. It seems to be kind of a dig to find it to begin with.
This makes sense, honestly. I mean, this makes sense, honestly. I think we are missing the second Eastern P-Bag Cave, so it could be... And I think we're missing the Desert Tile. Those might also be with Nibiru in the northeastern section, but it's kind of hard to tell.
This
Rando is really throwing us for a loop today. There's Hammer Cave, isolated in the far northeast.
Yeah, I think with the boots though, because you've got those 3 items that are left on the east, I don't know. It's a tough call. Maybe in an island's Death Mountain that we have, when you finally do get the boots, you just quickly dig for Hammer Cave. Again, you say, or as you pointed out, we do have the Desert Tile still, and still one more item cave to find on the east. I don't know. There's only so many limited options left. Perhaps this is the dig. Perhaps it's Spectacle Rock, and the Hammer Cave maybe actually has the hammer in it this time around.
It's possible. We don't know. This could also just have the. Pretty sure we're missing a load of heart containers and a couple of magic jars, so it could be some of those things too. And I think we've seen 1 of 2 junk items in the pool, so there's a second, and that's a heart container. Womp womp.
Yeah, still got a lot of stuff to find.
JJ, I'm curious why JJ updated. His fastest way to the east was to walk out of Hammer Cave, I'm pretty sure, because it's a bit of a trip to get back to the Death Mountain here. He's also going for the Connector Cave?
I think it's okay. I mean, it's a pretty quick connector, but I think can't you just walk up there?
That's what I was thinking. He has boots now. Anyway. I mean, the map's probably flying his brain as much as it has been ours.
Now, cross product over here in the spell tower in Nukusudo, finding that magic container, getting a little excited, I think, with his dash spell here. He wants to get back to that old woman who's going to let him into her house with the 5 magic containers now. Unfortunately, he's just going to get 1 more magic container. He doesn't know that, but at this point, at this point, I would be expecting something different, but this seed is just not delivering, at least for the runners. So cross product needs to... What does he need to do at this point? He can dig Pichu and kill Helmet Head, but that's not necessary right now.
No, he needs to go find.
Jump and dash. He needs to jump and dash over the hole in.
Yeah, he needs to get past Zarya. So that's his next thing to do. As JJ gets Fairy, is what he's doing now. Makes sense.
As an experienced runner, though, I wonder if he knows that that's even possible.
I have no idea, or if he knows how to identify Bagu's Woods, because this is a really bad map.
Yeah, that's true. I for some reason I feel that if they were looking for Bagu's Woods, they would have done that maybe like 35 minutes ago or something. It slipped my mind so many times. I think it's just because you can have those seeds that require Bagger's Woods, and then you're like, damn, I forgot. Or you just stumble upon Bagger sometimes, and it's really nice. But other times, it can really, for whatever reason, you're distracted. You don't even think of Bagu. He's just kind of an afterthought, just hanging out in his log cabin in the forest.
Yeah, alright. JJ is going to go walk up the river now, it looks like, so we'll see what's up this a ways.
Nothing.
That's actually a dead end. Huh. Okay, so he needs to go loop all the way around He needs to go southwest and then loop all the way around the north to get to the northeast. Great.
This will force him to check the water tile if he remembers it's over
At least,
here.
yeah, because he has to walk past it. I thought that was actually a full-on river, not a, I guess it's a bay that runs all the way up the continent, almost. Like, I think it's like a 1 or 2 tile wide path up at the very northern edge, I think it looks like at this point.
Just slightly north, and we'll have yet another item be revealed to us. My money is on something not useful.
Same, I'll be honest.
Well,
With how this seed's been going.
I mean, he's got everything. There's
It's a hammer.
Could lead Spectrock Glove. Ah,
Could be,
Man.
but everything has to go back to Maze Island, Death Mountain, which
So
is
much back and forth.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna do it too.
I think that's where he's going. Yeah, I mean, Spectral Rock is right next to the bridge, so it's not that bad to get to with boots.
I wonder if you can walk like on the eastern coastline, the border of the map here. I wonder if that actually allows for access to the north.
I don't think so. Hi, Elendar. It's terrible. So, they just found a whole lot of nothing. They ended up having to dig P4 without, Reflect to find a flute to access the... Oh, there's the glove. Finally, jeez.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad the glove is there because you should see the remainder of this east. It's tricky.
It's bad. It really... Thunder, by the way, is in Nibiru, so even though he has glove now, JJ still needs to make the hike all the way up there. I'm pretty sure it's in the far northeast just because we've seen everything else there is on the map. Elendar, there's no way to really explain this in voice. You kind of have to watch the VOD to know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a really difficult recap. I mean, we can try it here for a moment. It's the seed did not present itself all that simply. It's just, it was like a Saria block and connector caves that led to a portion of the west, and we got a bunch of hints for items that we couldn't find anywhere, and they've been looking in palaces. They got the magic key very early on, which kind of made them feel like they should go into palaces, but the palaces, most of them were blocked with gloves, as we're seeing here, even in P1 for JJ pushing through.
P1, P3, and P5 are all glove locked, as far as we can figure. Palace 2 was hindered to have the raft, which did connect them to Maze Island, which connected them to the western portion of the eastern continent. The issue is that the raft is ferry blocked, and ferry was behind the trophy, which is in Maze Island.
Yeah, so many glove locks and ferry blocks, and of course, those being such important items, and no easy way to access those. Cross is now killing Helmet Head, and he doesn't know that there isn't much behind him. Unfortunately, the item in P2 is also glove locked.
Yeah, so we're just getting a pretty solid amount of troll here.
This is not a fun room for JJ, although he's handling it well.
Yeah, Eleanor, I just recommend watching back the VOD, because this is something that you have to see to believe. Oh man, it's rare that it's rare for a veteran like JJ to take this long on a seed. Like, he's only now about to place his 4th gem, an hour and 19 minutes in.
Yeah, I almost wonder if just the randomizer just kind of figured that it wasn't, overall with Bagu being available and having that portion of the West still have, the boots and just opening everything. It technically wasn't that bad of the seed if you just remembered to check for Bagu, but neither one of them did. Oh, he does know jump and dash. Okay, cross. Cool.
Neat. Good. Alright, so I think JG is going... Okay, let's see, he's beaten P1, he's going to... I think he's gonna... Okay, he's already beaten P2. I think he is going to probably go beat P6 next. And then go figure out how to... and then go for a hike up north. Actually, no, he's back on the west. I got lost. So time for P5. Yeah, that's P5.
Good old Guma.
Get first.
And now the final part of the west being unlocked for Cross here. He's going to find the boots on the... it's not the grass tile, was it not? It's the final place. Magic Container Cave had like a heart container, and grass tile had the boots. Also going to be getting downstab as well. So depending on how fast JJ's able to clear these palaces, although he's got quite an advantage gem placement over Cross, it's unless he really gets stuck somewhere along the way, or if Cross for some reason just performs extremely well. It's looking like JJ's advantage is probably going to stick with him for the rest of this seed. Maybe GP is terrible, but if GP is terrible, it's usually terrible just based off of standard routing. And if JJ sees it first, he's going to have that exploration advantage over Cross, and he'll probably have to deal with a terrible GP in the same order that JJ had to deal with it. Oh, he's going to ferry over the hull. Okay. I was wondering if he's actually going to fall into the drop, which might actually be the right answer, so we're not sure. I think he saw a drop room earlier, though, so that could have just led him to a drop room. A bad drop room.
Yep. Alright, CP is finally up here on this part of the continent. JJ is having adventures in P5. I think he knows that one's the dead-end variant of that room.
Yeah, without the community rooms, that's definitely going to be a dead end.
Oh yeah, right. No community rooms, I keep forgetting. Yeah,
Oh no, that's right. The Magic Container Cave had the medicine right next to Mito, which gives us life. And here's going to be the boots for cross product. He's going to be happy to see those. Very, very happy to see those.
very much so, because this is... you want those boots. Alright. And hey, here's Guma for JJ. Yeah, so
a very
he's...
simple fight. It's attack 6.
Yeah. So he's just clearing out palaces on the west, I guess. At this point, he needs to beat P3, and then he can go back east and then to Maze Island from there, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah.
I think Cross is about to stumble on Maze Island with this cave right here. And that's that.
Yeah, that is.
Going to be also happy to see that. He's like, oh, the trophy's here somewhere.
Yep. Alright, and that's P5 done for JJ. Time to go for a hike back up north, because that's where everything is, really. The southern half of this west wasn't exactly the most interesting.
He's only got P3 left, which is in the northern half, and then he'll be off to GP, which is on Maze Island, which is not too difficult to reach.
Yeah, still taking the connector cave. I'm surprised he doesn't just take the pass there.
That pass just to the left of where he's at actually is it goes up to a dead end.
Does it? Because I thought they had water access.
I thought so too. But that one road tile there that leads up leads to a dead end. Okay, but you're right. I thought they had access elsewhere.
Yeah, I could have sworn there's a regular walking path up here. Because that's how they got up here in the first place. I think it's hard to tell.
I think so too, because that's right where Saria was. But I could be mistaken.
Yeah, probably debatable as to which one's closer then, because Tari I think would be a bit further east. In any case, back to P3. I don't quite remember where the trophy was, but it wasn't in the southern half, so CP needs to head back north.
No, those items were not too far away from each other, and they were kind of like middle north-ish.
Yeah, middle north-ish is where the items were.
Hopefully Rebanek is not too deep in here. He shouldn't be. Palace 3 is usually not too difficult of a palace to navigate through. Okay, I was going to say, JJ, you need to check the bottom elevator. We've been through this twice now. That's funny. And there was Rebanek there at the bottom of the elevator. He's the reason I say this is I commentated for JJ's previous 2 races, and there have been times when it could have bitten him. Obviously, he's got quite an advantage right at this point in time, but it could have bitten him at the times where he wasn't checking the tops and the bottoms of the elevators where bosses could be attached to. Even though community rooms are turned off, it was recently brought up or recently found that even with that option turned off, elevators can still lead to boss rooms. That's technically not a vanilla thing, but it's also technically not a community thing. It seems to be more categorized as just a randomizer thing, but it's not something that can be toggled, at least currently. So it's going to be P3 for him, and he just needs to head back to Death Mountain here and hit up Maze Island and jump into GP, and he's going to be in GP in just a minute.
No, he needs Thunder.
Oh, he needs Thunder, right. My bad.
He still needs to go for a very long hike in the east for that.
I would have been in GP, and I would have run into Thunderbird and then realized I don't have Thunder.
Yeah, so JJ needs to remember how to get up there, which is not that, unfortunately, as much as he wish it was. He needs to go the very, very, very long way around. It's a decent amount of the east up there. We're missing Naburu, which is Thunder. We're missing an item cave, and I'm pretty sure we're missing the desert tile too, so that's all up there somewhere.
Yeah.
We know it's boots blocked, and that's honestly about it. After the fiasco that was another race recently where you had to go loop around a whole bunch to get to where you could only access one half of the west and the other half was completely blocked off with like 3 different item caves at Palace of Town and Stonehenge. It was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the one with Jay Coper, right?
Think so, yeah. After that, I don't trust any tiny little paths of water kind of that look like they go to nowhere. Yeah, they might lead to a whole other part of the continent.
That was RCS's race. That's right.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's always fun. So yeah, there's a water path up way up here. Like JJ's going all the way around the map, and I think he slightly lost track of where exactly it is because, map rando, this ain't quite it, dude. I think he might be a touch confused as to where Naburu is actually at this point, because I remember he saw a bit of a boots block up at the far northern edge a while ago, but does he remember that? I guess he's just going to do a whole loop around anyway, because he's looking for a way to Naburu, but I'm not sure he's quite realized, because it's one of those things that's really hard to spot. I only know to look out for it because we've seen those races with those types of overworlds.
Yeah, Cross is, interestingly enough, he's on like the same line of thinking that JJ was. He also found Hammer Cave, dug out the heart container, and now, I don't know where he's headed. He's probably going to be headed back to the east to play with the boots a little bit.
Probably.
Hoping for the water tile to give him something good, maybe find another pass. in some water that he wasn't able to see before. Probably going to be disappointed. Probably going to try the same thing JJ did, try to go up the river that we thought was a river that's not a river, and be disappointed by that. Seed's got a few disappointments throughout it.
Yeah. See, I think JJ's realized it's not even that narrow pass direction now that I take a better look at it. It's just its boots blocked. That's basically what it is. And so there's a whole other portion of the continent over here because why wouldn't there be? And of course it's got this one linear mountain pass because that's a trait of the vanilla biome. Vanilla-like biomes, there are very narrow mountain passes to get places, and this is a not fun one. JJ was like, I don't want to take this pass. But you have to, there's no other choice, and Duburu is somewhere over here.
Yeah, these particular encounters, there's 3 or 4 of them in vanilla.
Which has a magic jar. You'll take that, I suppose. Probably an item cave right next to it, because we never did see the second one.
Yeah, is he not gonna... Oh, there's a whole bunch of caves down here, okay.
Next question, where's the Guru? I swear it's over here somewhere, but this isn't quite it.
Interesting that these past 2 caves exist. Where do these go? They're headed west, and we were already over on the west. This has got to be dead ends, okay.
Yeah, that's dead end, so he needs to go a different way to figure out where Nibiru is. It has to... I think it has to be up here somewhere. Just by didn't fact we've seen everything else on this continent, to be honest.
Cross turning in his trophy for the fairy spell that's going to open up almost everything for him at this point. And here's Thunder.
Neat. Yes, boots were required for the hammer on the water tiles so that you could go, so that you could then get your glove out of Spectral Rock. So boots were required today as JJ finally hits go mode at an hour and 32 minutes in. Woohoo!
I think Cross sitting there just kind of pondering what they may have missed, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're thinking. He might be a little tired of wandering around and doing an absolute full clear of the seed at this point.
Yeah. Oh, what? You could go all the way north. Can you go all the way north? You can go all the way north. That is really silly. That is, because it's hard to tell oftentimes where the out-of-bounds location is, and if there even is anything up there. So he could have not gone all the way around the continent, but I don't blame him for going all the way around. Because, yikes, that was a bad map. Never did get the raft, so we're gonna go get this connector cave real fast, and he's out of here. Yeah, that was a really dumb chain of, you either had to take a gamble and go up the eastern coast in what seems like what usually is the middle of nowhere, basically, if you try that coast, but today, nope. Peach-colored GP, not too bad. The background towel pattern's a little trippy, but that's okay.
That was one fast bubble.
Nice down stat block while I'm looking at it.
In the past 2 races that JJ's had, he has done a very good job of doing a full clear of GP, so it'll be interesting if he can go 3 for 3 on his putting his cartography skills to use here.
Yeah.
And this
cartography skills definitely important in today's seed with all the map shenanigans we got into.
No kidding, and that's it's gonna be the hammer for Cross there in the water tile, and he's like, maybe the light bulb goes on. Time to check Spec Rock.
It's not far, as mentioned. He just needs to go back to the bridge tile, which I think is where he's going.
This is gonna be a dead end room for JJ here.
Yep. And he realizes... And hey, T-Bird is very early in this GP. That's not a good sign because there's going to be a load of paths branching off after T-Bird.
I think I'm slightly behind you with a bit of a refresh here. Oh, it caught up. There we go. Okay, he's in the middle of the T-Bird fight. If I'm not mistaken, this green is going to be P5 for Cross.
That is correct.
He's got a lot of work cut out for him here. If he's going to make up, I'm not sure if he can make up all of this ground at this point. But
yeah, he's several palaces behind, and he still needs to make that hike to Nibiru too.
A drop room here behind Thunderbird.
Well, you have to take the drop because it's the only path after T-Bird. Ouch.
Not too dangerous of a GP. We have not seen anything too horrible yet. He's got a good amount of levels. He's got attack 7, so that's going to come in handy. That was a nice quick fairy there. Almost got knocked off the disintegrating, crumbling bridge there. Again, kind of another example of using dash and getting yourself in trouble.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to go too fast and not be able to properly control your movement and where you're going.
Yeah.
This is a very nice first waffle. That blue chicken knight a little less so.
Yeah, he can just sit there on that ledge, and just keep stabbing him if he wants to. Attack 7, it shouldn't take too long. I'm not sure if he feels that he's behind at this point, being at 96 minutes into the seed.
I mean, yeah, you don't know, but you... Ouch, that's a death. I'm half surprised he didn't up A there, because T-Bird's not far from start, and he's on his last life now. Even if you do get past this blue chicken knight, there's a lot of rooms left till Darklink, quite possibly, and on one life, that can be a bit dicey.
Yeah, in JJ's case, it can be a little dicey. His past 2 races, he's had an interesting Darklink result. We'll just say that, if anyone wants to go back and watch the end of his other races. One of them was against Jay Coper, and the last one was against Devious just yesterday or the other day.
A couple days ago.
Opting not to check down at the elevator there. It's another downstab room right there to an elevator. Coming back into the Jackin's room, going to check the elevator this time. Another waffle or emoji room here. It's a waffle. Pretty timid. But another blue focus sitting on the other side of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
we were discussing how without community rooms you tend to see repeats, and this sure looks familiar.
Exactly.
Not quite the same room, but it looks very similar. It is the same type. It is a waffle, and it's got a blue chicken knight in the middle. But that is a different one because, here's the Eon drop. Not going to take it just yet. And it's going to keep going. Alright. We can leave the Eon drop for a bit later.
I don't fully know the rules on the drop. Oh, there's a dead end.
Okay. Oh, I guess he's taking the Eon drop now, because that's a dead end.
I was going to say I wasn't sure if a drop at this point could put him back to the beginning. I wasn't sure, but apparently we're not going to find out, so...
Nice handling of the jump scare. Here's another one of these rooms.
And Darklink.
And here it is. Here's Darklink, everyone. Hour 39 minutes in, we finally have ourselves a Darklink.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad pushing through the palaces, and JJ did get a few palaces along the way when he was trying to dig out items that he was hopefully going to find, but unfortunately he didn't find any of those items in palaces. So not too bad, but definitely a lot of routing involved. Although again, with Bagoo's Woods being available and neither of them knowing that, this would have definitely been a quicker seed.
Yeah, but GG's to JJ, finishing up with an official time of 1:40:18. Well, we'll get him in for an interview here shortly, and there he is, GG's. What a seed.
Holy moly. Oh, that I would know how the right way to get through that is still. I'm not really sure. I just...
look for Bagoo's Woods, apparently.
Oh, I didn't even... Oh my god, I didn't even think
Neither of you
Bagoo.
looked for him. Neither of you looked for Bagoo.
That's so funny.
Oh, if it was Bagoo only. If I didn't know about that from just watching other races, that dash jump... I don't know how long it would have taken me to come up with Bagoo.
Yeah, interestingly enough, a cross product also knew that as well. We were concerned with his how much he knew about like Z2R and the tricks and whatnot. And obviously, dash jump is a little bit of a trick that, like you said, you won't really know that unless you watch someone or maybe you're really experimental. And we weren't sure if Cross was going to know that, but he did, and he did use dash jump to get across as well. Neither, as Star was saying, neither one of you found Bagoo or were even looking for them, but he was there, and it would have opened up Saria and given you the boots very early on, which interesting. But it's also interesting that there was another way to finish the seed with all of the wild and wacky routing that you both are dealing with or had to deal with.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and that well, it kind of stinks that that Bagoo, the hint for Bagoo was on the other side too, so you didn't really have any help. I guess you would have had to think to walk over every forest tile you could find.
Yeah, sometimes it does come to that, and you guys were getting forced into that when you finally found the northwest quadrant of the Western continent, but still with that northeast section blocked, and it was like, unsure of how to get there, and you guys found, luckily enough, a connection to the east, and then you eventually got the flute and eventually unlocked the path across the bridge. And welcome, cross product.
Hey.
What a scene! What a scene!
Did chat roll this one?
Well, here's
XR rolled this one.
Here's a question. Did it ever cross your mind that maybe Bagoo was available on your side where you started?
Yes.
He was available. You guys could have found it, and it would have been a quick way across Saria.
It did occur to me, but I just had so many other things to do.
Yeah,
And then when it came down to it, it was like, I can find Bagoo, but I don't need to anymore.
Yeah, neither one of you guys looked for it, and you both took pretty much the same pathing all the way through. JJ just happened to get it sooner, and was just able to just continue. Once it opened up for him, he just took off from there, because it was you guys had so many levels from grinding enemies and whatnot throughout all of that once he finally had the boots and everything, it was just that was what totally opened it up for him.
Yeah, the boots would have made, but the boots are always good for overworld traversal, but in this seed especially. So it was just like
There was so
run to the edge
much
of the death mount. I mean, I
water
fell into the
everywhere.
trap that I always fall into, and that was I get lost in Death Mountain for about half an hour.
Yeah,
It happens.
Islands.
It's not a fun death mountain by any means.
No.
So many dead ends at Death. There were like 10 different caves that just went straight to a dead end. I've never seen a Death Mountain laid out like with that many dead ends.
That's the issue with Islands Death Mountains, is they're trying to cram 5 caves on one island, and the end result is some of them will be boots locked and dead ends. And speaking of the islands biomes are always rough for navigation, because with so much water, it's hard to tell where you are in relation to anything else.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I didn't even know there were biomes.
There's a load of information out there I can go There's a variety of biomes out there, and
I'm
they have different
almost done
themes.
losing the tournament. Look it up next
Fair
year.
enough. Fair enough. But yeah, there are different themes. Islands are especially rough because there's narrow bridges. There might not there's almost always islands that are just completely cut off, and you need boots to get there.
So did you find Bagu, or did you use
Nope.
jump dash?
No,
Both of you
you're
use
better.
them.
You're a better man than me because it didn't occur to me that to even look for Bagu until they mentioned it in
I
post.
thought of it. I just thought, I didn't actually even find any of the encounter tiles on the forest that normally accompany him.
I think I saw the P-Bag one that's right by Start in Vanilla, and I think I saw...
Oh, I saw the P-Bag one. I thought that was part of a different set. I thought it was just like the frog and log encounter scenes.
Yeah, it was. There was that big swamp just kind of south east of Start, and then just east of there was a very large forest. So even if you were looking for him, you would have been walking around for a little bit trying to find him. He was buried in the middle of that forest there. You guys just walked. I mean, we didn't know this for a while, but yeah, you guys just walked right by him, and there was nothing down there. There were no points of interest or anything. No other reason to go back down there again. So you never visited back down there. You didn't just accidentally stumble upon him during a revisit or anything like that.
Ah.
But I don't think, you both play the seed the same from pretty much from start to finish there. Finding glove blocks and fairy blocks in all of the palaces and probably being frustrated at every turn.
Yeah, I'm just a lot better at losing. Sorry about that. I'm good at getting lost. That's usually my downfall. I'd probably double and triple dip same caves and second guess myself on a lot of routes.
Well, I would not feel bad about that on this one. I know I did the same thing. And then I was really frustrated at the end with... I got ahead of myself and forgot I still had to get Thunder. So,
yeah, we were wondering for a second.
And then apparently you could have just walked around the east side right up to it.
Yeah.
I was commenting, it's hard to tell oftentimes where the out of bounds is and whether or not, that water that's just on the edge, is that useful? Is that a dead end?
Yeah,
It's
it
come
definitely
up-
looked like a dead end, but I should have known to check and make sure.
Yeah, I didn't suspect it either, and we have seen a couple recent races where there is a one tile wide water path at the edge of the map that leads you someplace else, and people missed that one tile wide water path at the edge of the map took you somewhere else because it's so obscure. You have to keep an eye out for those in this version of the randomizer. Those really obscure water paths that don't look like they go anywhere might go somewhere.
Right. Well, I'm pretty happy. I got to Dark Link first in all 4 of my races. Well, just 2 and 2, but
Right.
Yeah, let me take a look at the challenge actually. So could pull it up.
My season goal was to have at least one race where I got to Great Palace before my opponent finished, and I did that last week, so
That's great.
I'll go for that again next week, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, you guys are in groups of 2. You guys are in groups of 5, and the top 2 move on. Looking at Group D standings, Jay Coper is moving on for certain in your group with 4 wins and 4 wins. Shandy is also sitting at 2 and 2. Where is... You did win against Shandy, JJ, so the result of your group depends on whether or not Devious wins versus you cross-product.
Oh.
If Devious wins, there is a 3-way tie at 2-1 in your group. Yeah. And then you guys need to have a 3-way play-in race to see who moves on as second in the group. There also might be a few other issues due to version changes. But there is still the possibility of a 3-way tie at 2-1. But if Devious loses to Cross Product and they both end up at 1 and 3, then there's 2 people at 2-2. You take the tiebreak, JJ, since you won against Shaddy. So
Devious is 1 and 2 right now. Or?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Cross is now 0 and 3, and the result of that match, and depending on if something else gets replayed, will determine if or whether or not you move on to brackets, because it's not determined right now. I'll just say that much. Mm-hmm. Round robin brackets can be a little difficult to interpret.
I should not have used Dash in that room.
Best of luck to you, Cross Product.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, good luck. And
I still have to find Nibiru. If I played this seed out, I'd probably be at it another hour plus.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that definitely. It took me a few, for sure. Even looking for it solely on purpose at the end there, it took me to find it. So it was hidden. Well, not really. I mean, I guess you could have just walked up the water on the way. I didn't know.
Yeah, I guess the play of the seed was Bagu.
Yep. Sounds like it.
Apparently so, but why you would go to that one patch of woods is another story.
Yeah, well, it's also interesting that the seed was still completable, as it was like Bagu was the easy answer, but there was also a very difficult answer that you could still slowly progress through the seed. And so sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it would have been like just hard Saria blocked, and then you guys would have been like, I guess we have to look for Bagu then. And then, but the seed continued to keep revealing small things to each of you. And so you probably didn't even think to go back for Bagu at any point, but it eventually just led you to where you needed to go. And it was only
it made
because...
me wonder if, is Jump Dash actually a logical, like it's a logic account for it to get through Saria?
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer to that. It's just, right now I think it's a trick, but... You have to ask someone who maybe knows a little, like Dig Shake or maybe Alan Heffley. They would probably know a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting worried with it being like, I'd thought of that before we got Jump and Dash, that was possible, and then I know we just had an update, so I didn't know if maybe it had become logic, but definitely wouldn't have wanted to win by that, or being just having chanced upon it. So I'm happy to know that we both did it that way, so it just kind of takes that out of the equation.
Oh my goodness, we put lion heads in this room.
Oh, you're in 5, the lava room?
Not 5.
Not 5. The 3 with the lava.
The one in the desert. As soon as you get to the east.
Palace. Yeah, Palace 1.
Man, dude,
Couple of times.
I'm just playing Mario Maker at this point. All right. Well, thanks for the race. Thanks for commentating and restreaming, everybody. Hope you all have a fantastic evening.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for the work you guys are putting into this.
Yeah. GG's. Right. So let's do a couple shout outs to our 2 runners, JJ Schmidt and Cross Product, to our co-commentator Mirai, and to our tracker Royale with Cheese. And I'll let VXR close it out with our scheduled.
Alright, let's see. Over on ZSR main, we've got a Cross Keys tournament match again, so they rated us, we're going to raid them. Let's see, and then tomorrow we have another Z2R standard tournament race between RCS and the Allen Huff play. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern on ZSR2. Also have a Link's Awakening DX 90% tournament race at 7 p.m. Eastern, and the first match of the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 4 tournament winners bracket finals is at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on ZSR main. So that's it for us. See you all next time.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.